Let me bring you the latest transfer update. It is being reported that RODRI has chosen Barcelona over Real Madrid. As things stand, Barcelona have reached a full agreement with the player. RODRI has given his word to the Catalan club, and the people working on the deal have been in constant contact with him. One of the key figures involved is Hansi Flick. The Barcelona manager personally called RODRI and explained why Barcelona would be the best destination for him. He outlined the club's project, how RODRI would fit into the team, and why he believes the player can achieve greater success at Barcelona. After those conversations, RODRI became convinced that Barcelona was the right choice. The delay in Real Madrid making a final decision gave Barcelona enough time to enter the race, and now the player has reportedly said yes to them. With the player's approval secured, Barcelona can now continue negotiations with Manchester City to complete the transfer. Another important factor was Lamine Yamal. Reports suggest that he also spoke with RODRI, explaining the exciting project at Barcelona and why joining the club would be the right move. Those conversations, together with Hansi Flick's, are believed to have played a major role in convincing the Spanish international. As things stand, Barcelona are now pushing ahead with negotiations, and they are prepared to meet the financial demands required to complete the deal. Interestingly, this situation has reminded many fans of José Mourinho's old prediction that it will be a big failure if RODRI didn't join Real Madrid and eventually joins Barcelona. Another interesting point is that RODRI family, especially his parents, reportedly preferred him to remain in Madrid because they enjoy living in the city. Despite that, the player's own preference appears to have changed. According to the latest reports, RODRI has informed Barcelona that he wants to join them. If the deal goes through, it will become one of the biggest transfer battles between Barcelona and Real Madrid in recent years. Moving on to Chelsea, there are fresh updates regarding Pedro Neto and Malo Gusto. Chelsea are reportedly more willing to sell Malo Gusto than Pedro Neto. Club officials believe they can find a suitable replacement for Gusto if he leaves. Pedro Neto's situation is different. The club values his profile highly and believes replacing a player with his qualities would be extremely difficult. Because of that, Chelsea are having second thoughts about selling him. Even though offers in the region of £70 to £75 million have been discussed, Chelsea may decide to keep Pedro Neto instead. At the moment, Malo Gusto remains the player most likely to leave Stamford Bridge. Now, let's move on to Liverpool. Liverpool continue to be very active in the transfer market. The club is reportedly serious about signing young PSG forward Ibrahim Bey. Representatives from Liverpool have traveled to hold further discussions as they continue working on the deal. Liverpool are also monitoring other attacking options as they look to strengthen their squad before the new season begins. Liverpool are continuing to explore several attacking options as they look to strengthen their squad before the transfer window closes. The club remain active in the market and are prepared to invest heavily in top young talent. One of the names being linked with Liverpool is Ibrahim Bey. Reports suggest that the club are still working behind the scenes to make progress on the deal, and discussions are continuing as they assess the player's future. Now, let's move to Carlos Baleba. Unfortunately, Carlos Baleba has suffered an injury during preseason. As a result, any potential transfer involving the midfielder has effectively been put on hold. The injury is expected to keep him out for around 3 months. Early fears suggested it could have been a serious cruciate ligament injury, but fortunately, that has been ruled out. Even so, he is expected to miss the start of the new season before making his return. Because of the injury, clubs that had shown interest in signing Baleba have decided to step back for now and wait until he has fully recovered. Next is Jed Spence. Liverpool are reportedly interested in signing the Tottenham Hotspur fullback. Spurs are believed to value the England international at around £35 million, and Liverpool are considering whether to meet that asking price as negotiations continue. There is also an update involving Pape Matar Sarr. Aston Villa were interested in signing the Senegal international on an initial loan deal with an obligation to buy at the end of the season. However, Tottenham are not interested in that structure. They would prefer a permanent transfer, with the full transfer fee paid immediately. As a result, Spurs have blocked Aston Villa's proposed deal, and negotiations have stalled. There is also movement regarding Ashley Phillips. Tottenham are currently negotiating with Middlesbrough over the defender's future. The proposed agreement includes an initial fee of £7 million, with a further £3 million payable after the player reaches 15 appearances. An additional £5 million would become payable if Middlesbrough finish in the Championship playoff places, while another £5 million would be due if they secure promotion to the Premier League. The agreement would also include a 20% sell-on clause, allowing Tottenham to receive a percentage of any future transfer fee if Middlesbrough eventually sell the player. Now, let's move to Liverpool once again. Reports suggest that Trabzonspor have made significant progress in their pursuit of Darwin Núñez. The striker has reportedly agreed to join the Turkish club, and discussions over the financial details are advancing. The transfer package is believed to be worth around €80 million, and if everything is completed successfully, Darwin Núñez is expected to continue his career in Turkey with Trabzonspor. Now, let me bring you the latest update on Vinicius Jr. Reports suggest that Arsenal remain interested in the Real Madrid star Vinicius Jr. The club are said to be preparing an ambitious proposal in an attempt to convince him to move to the Premier League. According to the reports, Arsenal believe they can offer Vinicius Jr. one of the biggest financial packages in football. The club also believes that playing in the Premier League would further elevate his global profile. It is understood that representatives have explained to the player and his agency that becoming one of the faces of the Premier League could significantly strengthen his commercial value and improve his chances of winning individual awards, including the Ballon d'Or. The belief is that the Premier League's worldwide exposure would give Vinicius even greater visibility than he currently enjoys in La Liga. These are some of the arguments Arsenal have reportedly presented as they attempt to convince the Brazilian to consider a move. Now, let's move to Bruno Guimaraes. Reports claim that the Newcastle United midfielder has said goodbye to some of his teammates as speculation over a possible move to Arsenal continues. If Bruno Guimaraes leaves, Newcastle are reportedly considering Joe Linton as their next club captain. Club officials believe the Brazilian midfielder has the leadership qualities needed to wear the captain's armband. Next, we have an update on Jarek Gasiorowski. The young Spanish defender and his representatives have reportedly arrived in Madrid to complete his move. Medical tests are expected to take place before he signs a long-term contract that could keep him at the club until 2032. Reports also suggest that the club intend to register him with Castilla initially. This would allow them greater flexibility with their squad registration while continuing to develop the player. Meanwhile, Barcelona and Real Madrid continue to battle over RODRI's future, making it one of the biggest transfer stories of the window. There is also an update involving Franco Mastantuono. According to reports, the young Argentine midfielder is set to join Fiorentina on loan. He is expected to travel to Italy to complete his medical examination before the deal is officially announced. Now, let's move to Manchester United and Marcus Rashford. Reports suggest that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Manchester United's leadership are reviewing the club's wage structure following Rashford's loan spell at Barcelona. One issue concerns players who are out on loan when Manchester United qualify for the UEFA Champions League. Previously, those players were still entitled to salary increases linked to the club's qualification. Manchester United are now reportedly considering changes to those clauses. The club believes that players who were not part of the squad during the successful campaign should not automatically receive Champions League-related salary increases. The proposed changes are aimed at creating a fairer wage structure and ensuring that performance-related bonuses are awarded only to players who contribute directly to the club's achievements. Now, let's move on to Chelsea. Reports suggest that Chelsea remain interested in strengthening their midfield before the transfer window closes. Two players currently on their shortlist are Alex Scott and Adam Wharton. The club are expected to sign one additional midfielder, but the final decision will depend on the opportunities available in the market. Chelsea believe they have the financial resources to complete a deal for either player if the right conditions are met. Next, there is an update involving Olympique Marseille goalkeeper Geronimo Rulli. Manchester City are reportedly considering Rulli as a goalkeeping option following recent changes to their squad. With James Trafford having departed, City are looking at experienced replacements to strengthen their goalkeeping department. Now, let's move to Magnus Akliush. Reports indicate that the talented French attacker is traveling to Paris to complete his move to Paris Saint-Germain. Medical examinations are expected to take place before he signs his contract and is officially unveiled as a PSG player. Next, we have an update from Manchester United. The club remain interested in Tyler Adams. Bournemouth are believed to value the midfielder at around £50 million, although earlier reports suggested a lower figure. Negotiations are expected to continue as Manchester United assess the financial demands of the deal. Manchester United are also continuing their pursuit of Yoane Wissa. However, Newcastle United's valuation is considered too high at the moment. United appreciate the player's quality but are unwilling to overpay and hope Newcastle will eventually lower their asking price. Now, let's move to Arsenal. Reports claim that both Arsenal and Manchester United have been scouting a highly rated Brazilian striker named Elias, who currently plays for Shakhtar Donetsk. The youngster is regarded as one of the brightest attacking prospects available. Both clubs believe he has enormous potential and could develop into a world-class striker in the future. Because of that potential, his valuation is already believed to be between €100 million and €120 million, despite his young age. Next, there is an update from South Korea regarding Kang-in Lee. Reports indicate that Kang-in Lee has completed his mandatory military service requirements. During Atletico Madrid's visit to South Korea for pre-season, he was warmly welcomed by supporters and participated in promotional activities with the club. The midfielder remains one of South Korea's biggest football stars alongside Son Heung-min. Atletico Madrid have also used his image extensively in their promotional campaign during the tour, highlighting his importance both on and off the pitch. Finally, there is an update on Frenkie de Jong. Barcelona remain concerned about the midfielder's ongoing injury problems. Club officials have reportedly recommended surgery to resolve the issue permanently before the FIFA World Cup. However, Frenkie de Jong is believed to prefer a conservative recovery plan instead of undergoing surgery. He hopes that careful treatment and rehabilitation will allow him to recover without an operation. Barcelona, meanwhile, believe that surgery would provide the best long-term solution and reduce the risk of recurring injury, meaning discussions between the player and the club are still ongoing. Now, let me bring you another update involving Turkey. Reports suggest that Romelu Lukaku is not expected to move to Turkey despite recent speculation. Several rumors have linked him with clubs in the Turkish Super League, but there is currently no agreement in place. There is also growing interest in Kenan Yildiz. The talented youngster has attracted attention from several of Europe's biggest clubs, including Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Bayern Munich. His performances have convinced many clubs that he has the potential to become one of Europe's top attacking players. Now, let's move to Mohamed Salah. According to reports, Mohamed Salah's expected arrival at Trabzonspor has generated enormous excitement in Turkey and Egypt. Airlines are reportedly considering introducing direct flights between Cairo and Trabzon because of the expected increase in travel by Egyptian supporters. The interest surrounding Salah's potential move has become one of the biggest football stories in the country, with thousands of fans expected to travel to watch him if the transfer is completed. Reports from Turkey also suggest that the country's football authorities believe the arrival of world-class players is raising the profile of the Turkish league. In recent transfer windows, clubs have been linked with or have signed high-profile players, including Victor Osimhen, Mason Greenwood, Leandro Trossard, Nathan Ake, Ederson, and Rafael Leao. Club executives believe these signings will continue to increase the league's global popularity over the coming years. Trabzonspor are also said to be negotiating image rights arrangements as part of Mohamed Salah's proposed contract. According to reports, the club would receive 20% of the commercial income generated from Salah's image rights under the agreement.